What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today at the request of Dialogue Kayaker and DB. We're doing this one for you too. Looking at this thing here, it's looking like it wants to go up still, man. I had somebody make a comment saying that I was wrong again, and it's just funny, man, because it's like he made the comment that I was wrong again on yesterday's video. You can check out yesterday's video. It's titled Bitcoin to 52 to 57K. And here we did. We moved all the way down yesterday, all the way down to 48.3K. At the very end of the video, like literally at the very end of the video, like the last minute, you can catch me saying I kind of would expect something like this. I would expect that we move down to about 48.5K, around there, and then up. And we did that exact thing, right? I think 48.32K. It's pretty close to 48.5K. What's a couple hundred, not even a couple $100 on a nearly $50,000 asset, you know what I mean? So he was calling me out for being wrong, probably because of my title, and he didn't even watch the whole video, which is why, again, guys, none of this is financial advice, but I very much recommend you watch the whole videos. That way you don't misinterpret the information, like some people. But that's just me. When I like to research things, or especially if I want to call somebody out, I like to get my facts right. I don't like to just be an ass, but some people do. It's just, it depends on some people's style. But we did that exact thing. We moved down. I very much do think price action up to 52K to 57K is on the table. I would love to be wrong, by the way. I would absolutely love to be wrong, because if I am, I could buy more cryptos at cheaper prices. I would love that. I could buy crypto stocks at cheaper prices. Go down, drop, prove me wrong, base me, go for it. I'll take all the heat I can, man, because I'm gonna eat it up. I really will. It'd be great. But while that's not probably gonna happen, and prices do move up, everything else that I'm holding in crypto, which is like 90% of my overall value, is in crypto. I'm totally happy with it going up too. You know what I mean? So $52,460 is the minimum target. $57,000 is the minimum or the maximum target of this expected range before we see some kind of more significant pullback. And I do think we will. I very much do expect that we will see prices inevitably below $47,000, below $48,000. We'll see prices probably even below $45,000. Well, maybe not probably, but I would think anywhere from like 45 to 47K is on the line. The lowest I would think is going to be somewhere around like 44.7K, somewhere around there. That would make sense to me. After this move up. Let's just do this real quick. If we went to the 1272. I mean, your 618, that's pretty low. I don't know if you'd hit that. You might hit your 0.5. Bitcoin does like its 0.5. That would make more sense. Your 618 is like right at the top of this previous zone. That would make sense to me. That 618 up there would actually line up very well with this 618 here. So, anyways, let's see. You could go lower from here. It is possible. That's a nice recovery on the day. But you absolutely could go lower from here. On the 4 hour, you do have higher lows while meriting lower lows in your RSI. I would think that is hidden bullish divergence. You probably do continue to move upwards. I'm not worried about it at all, man. I think that was a quick little slip, recovering. You're probably going up 52 to 57K. That's where you're going. There's not really anything new to say on this at all, genuinely. Man. And the other thing too, with that guy's snide comment, I mean, I called this high, I called this low on this day. It went a little bit lower, but I basically called the low right there, and then I was calling for the high literally right around these prices again. I was off by like $200 or $300. I was really just wrong about this move here. That's it. And even then, I wasn't wrong about all of it. I don't know why I'm defending myself, but for the jackals out there, I flipped my bearish opinion to bullish once we broke above the 61869 area on this day. So I've been bullish really up to this level since then, and it wasn't confirmed. I was cautiously bullish, but really once we closed above the 886 on this day, that's when it's been nonstop bullish for me. And I guess I didn't really talk about that until this day, which was yesterday's video, or what was it? Maybe I guess technically it was this day. I had today's for me. It's Tuesday. I know it's Wednesday on the chart, so it would have been this day's candle at the very beginning of it. I didn't make a Bitcoin video on this. I'm getting all confused, man. The Super Bowl, the day of the Super Bowl is when we broke above the 886. I didn't make a Bitcoin video on that, but I did see that. And I did say on this day that what I would like to see is a close above the 886. And I was pretty sure that we would go up here. I did say that closing at the 886 left room to go down to the 786 or the 61869 area. That definitely left that possible. But not at any point since we've broken above the 61869 area have I been bearish at all, right? Again, short of what I've said, just to leave it as a possibility, we could see some kind of major dramatic reversal. That is possible. There's not a lot of volume coming in. That's the only thing that's making me think that we are still in play for that like kind of double top scenario. But I don't see it happening, man. Things just seem too bullish right now. I think we're at least going to go to 52 to 57K. And the main reason why I think we're going to pull back to around anywhere from like 45.7K to what is it? Like 47K, 45.7 to 47K, or no, sorry, 44.7 to 47K. The reason why I think we're going to do that is because if Bitcoin were to be by the halving, if it were to be at, let's say even 52K, that's the minimum target, right there. That's a 24% difference from the all-time high. Never before has Bitcoin been anywhere lower than like, or closer than a 50% difference from its all-time high to the monthly close of its halving, to the daily close of its halving. You know what I mean? Like it's almost, not almost, it's literally always been, at least on a monthly close, which would be the monthly close of April, it's been 49.9 or like 49.5% or lower from its all-time high, which would mean, you know, at that rate, technically, that would bring us all the way back down to about like 35K. And I do think that those prices are still possible as well. I don't think they're likely. I'm not calling for that. I actually have in my past couple videos have been saying that I do think we'll get the most shallow difference from our current all-time high to where we'll be on the closing day of the month of the halving, which is April. I just don't think it's going to be 24%. I don't think it's going to be 15%. I don't think we'll be at new all-time highs by that time. I think that we're going to make our little move up to 52 to 57K here. We're going to find resistance and then likely pull back to this 886 zone. Very common. That's a 31%. That's still shallow from what we've seen in the past. 31%. 786 is at 32.6%. And then the 618 all the way down there, that's the minimum expected target, or the maximum, I should say. Minimum number, maximum distance, 44.7K. You know, and that's where all these targets come from, right? 40, I mean, that's like 48K, 47.7K, 46.6K, 44.7K, or somewhere in between. You don't have to hit those lines specifically, but after seeing the extended zone, likely you do pull back. And let's say we're on the weekly here. Let's say this week, next week, going into like the middle of March, maybe we move up to there, and then we pull back for like a month or so. Right? I mean, that puts us in May, so maybe not. I mean, we could find our bottom after the halving. We've seen that before too, where we pump before the halving and we start dumping a month before the halving, and even through the halving we start dumping. So we could see, you know, something like that, or something in this area as well. You know, something like that. Very normal behavior to see the extensions be hit, pull back, and then we continue upwards. Right now, I do think it's possible still that we could see prices below here, but that possibility is dwindling by the day, and I don't think it's likely. I think it's a possibility, right? Like, to be fair, it's a possibility that we could pull all the way back to like 30K. You know, it is possible, but the only way that I would see that happening is really, in my genuine opinion, we probably wouldn't move to 52 or 57K. We would probably see some kind of significant reversal this week or next week before we even got to those levels, because that's the only way that I could see it happening. Maybe I'm super wrong and we do go to 52 to 57K and then we still go all the way back down there, but that to me just seems ridiculous. But Bitcoin can be ridiculous, man. to be fair, you know, drawing this kind of line like off base. Let me draw a straight line here. You know, it's like April 20th, April 18th this week here. That's at 37K. That would be slightly below this low, and that is around the time of the halving. So like, could we see that? Sure. But you know, as time goes on, prices below this low really kind of dwindle. They come out of the picture, right? Unless we saw some kind of major significant reversal, I just don't see it happening. And the only reason I'm talking about that major significant reversal is because, again, it's like I'm trying to address of how not likely it is to happen. I'm saying that because I have been calling for prices to go to 34.9K for about, I mean, essentially since here, right? Like since we found the top here, which would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, about a month. And I've relinquished that within the last week. I definitely have relinquished that. So that's the main reason I keep talking about it, is it might still be in some people's minds. I know it's in my heart, man. I would love to see the prices go down there, because I would love to scoop up more coins, more Bitcoin at cheaper prices. I really would. I just don't think it's going to happen. And that's why I keep talking about it, is I'm trying to be real with my fellow bear friends. And I guess I'm not a bear anymore, man, because I'm a bull. I'm a bear at heart, but I'm a bull on the chart. You can't argue the charts, man. We literally had the new weekly highest close we've seen since, I mean, technically since March of 2022. Yeah. Even higher than December of 2021, December 27th. December 20th was the last time we saw a closing high higher than this. But I guess that would have been December 26th. Technically, but I'm getting away from the main point. Yes, there is bearish divergence here on the weekly. It's not confirmed until we see a red week, which we don't have. When we get a red week, it'll be confirmed. But that divergence formed back here, so a move down to about 44K could happen. It could go just below 44K, and then we pull up from there. And I know that my minimum targets, man, I get all thrown off. I know that my minimum target was not my minimum, my maximum target was down here at the 618. But you could wick below that. You could wick below it, go all the way down here, and still close above it. As long as you're closing at this 618 or higher, you know, that's okay. And we have bearish divergence now, but what if we keep growing? What if we keep going and we take out that bearish divergence? What if we move all the way up here, and this now it's like a double top? It's not bearish divergence at all. Maybe it's a higher high even, you know. And just because you have bearish divergence doesn't mean you have to go back to where it originally started, where it formed. That's just kind of the expected norm. And then another thing on top of that, right here, we had a high, we had a slightly higher high. Here we had a low, we had a lower low. That was bearish divergence. That move played out. Based off of that same high, we already have a higher high in the RSI, right? And we have a higher high in price. So maybe it's not bearish divergence after all. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like I don't know if I would bet my money on this. I'm sure there are a lot of bears who are looking at this and like, this is the key. It's gonna happen. It's absolutely gonna happen. But even if it does happen, guys, it's only going to be to like 44K. It's not going to be too dramatic. So not trying to be the bear of bad news for the bears, but just trying to be real here. You know, I would love to see the prices go lower, but facts are facts, man. Charts are charts. And I'm going to end this video kind of like I did yesterday, with giving like a quick rendition of what I expect, in case there's any jokers that want to say I was wrong again, even though I wasn't. Because again, the only like real phase that I was wrong was like from here. Everything since here, I was essentially right. I just didn't get my bearish call, right? That was it. Called the high, called the low, called this high even. It didn't go as low as I thought it would, and I relinquished that once we had this daily close here. But what I'm expecting from here is that now that we've had that pullback to the area that I was looking for, we could pull back even more. Sure, tomorrow we could, but with that kind of reversal on the day we came back down like that, I would expect that we go to 47.76K at the lowest if we were to go anywhere down there, but I don't think we will. I do think that we will continue higher. We will probably move up to 52.4, let's say 52.5K to 57K before we see any kind of significant pullback. Any pullback from here is going to be just like it was yesterday. It'll be insignificant. Okay, so that's my thoughts. We are overbought on the RSI, yes. We've only been overbought since the 8th. It's the 14th now, so not even a week. We can be in the overbought zone for a long time, and during those long times, you can see continued growth, man. You can, even if you get out of the overbought zone, that doesn't mean you get lower lows. You can still, like, once you got in your overbought zone here on October 19th, you didn't find your relative high until December 5th, and even then you kept growing. Even then you kept growing. So that's all I got for you guys, man. Yes, we're overbought, but it's just beginning. I really very much do believe 52.5 to 57K, it's inevitable. So I'll leave it at that. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Hit that like button. Subscribe to see more. Adios.